All right, I'm set now. Let me share my screen. So, today we'll be looking at the Chi-Squares platform. It is a web-based application. What that means is you only need your computer, an internet, and then a web browser to access the platform. So all you do is come to any browser of your choice and type www.chi-squares.com. I want to type it from start to end. So this is the address to the application. So when you click enter, you would see this page. This tells you that the Chi-Squares platform is an ecosystem for research, right? All in one platform for surveys, analysis, and manuscripts. So if you have an account, you can log in here. If you don't have an account, you can click on this button to sign up. So I'll just log in since I have an account. Now, this is the dashboard. I want to be sure that you are seeing it clearly. Is this zoom in okay? So this is the dashboard. You can see that on the left pane, you have the data collection module where you can create surveys, you can do sampling, you can also do sample size calculation. Then this collaborate allows you to create manuscripts and collaborate with different researchers from any part of the world. And then this module is the analysis engine, whereby the data you collect on the platform can be pushed to the analysis engine where you can perform analysis with your data, with your collected data. So, but today is going to be high level. We might not be able to look at everything here, right? But just an overview. This sampling module, right? When you click on it, you get this start new sampling. And then when you click on that, you can do two types of sampling. You can automatically draw representative sample, or you can perform probability sampling on a sampling frame, right? You can achieve this on the platform. If you want to calculate sample size, there are a lot of options for you. You can do cross-sectional study. You can calculate sample size for comparative studies with 2 arms, with 3 arms, clustered, randomized trial, and also for other type of research, non-inferiority trial, longitudinal study with staggered entry. So our main focus will be on the survey because we're talking about data collection. So if you want to start creating a questionnaire on the platform, all you will do is come to the data collection. Is a drop down. When you click on it, you get these 3 items under it, and then you click on survey design. Survey design brings you here, right? You can see that I have some projects already. These are surveys. To create a new one, I will just click on this start new survey. When you click on it, you get this interface. This tells you that you can collect 2 types of data. You can do cross-sectional study, whereby you collect data at once, right, at a particular time, or you will do longitudinal study, whereby you have follow-up. This is just one wave, but for longitudinal study, you have different waves defined by you, right? You continue to return to that study population to collect data using defined time frame, right? So all you do is click on continue. Now you can create a standard survey, which we also call pro survey, right? So this standard survey includes things like simple and advanced question types. You can do processional and original, like I said earlier. You can implement complex logic. You can implement incentives whereby you want to add incentives to your survey so that participants get incentives when they take. That helps you improve response rates. You can also include consent form, right? You will get a detailed report when you are done. You can translate your survey to multiple languages for different participants to take. You can also download your questionnaire into paper and pencil, whereby the questionnaire design on the platform will be downloaded and then you give out to participants. When they fill the questionnaire, all you need to do is you either enter the code or you scan the questionnaire and then you upload. You don't need to enter data manually from start to finish. The platform automatically takes either your scanned questionnaire that is completed or the code and then populates it for you. And then you can also get questions from Survey Bank. For quick form, this is not a standard survey. This is more like getting an information that is just, maybe you want to organize a dinner and then you want to have the participants complete the survey. You're asking them what's your favorite drink, you can use this quick form to collect that kind of data. But today we'll be using the standard survey. When you click on start survey, the first thing you need to do is you need to provide your survey title. What's the title of your survey, right? So you need to enter a comprehensive or not comprehensive, but a very descriptive name for your survey, right? So since we are doing a demo, we can say, let's say the title of our survey is Ebola outbreak in DRC, right? You can include the among people aged 12 and older. This is a bit descriptive. So with this, what you will do next is to enter the location. If you are doing this survey in multiple countries, you can also select all the countries you want to do the survey in. All you need to do is to type the name of the country, right? So let's say I'm typing this. You can see it appearing. I can click on it. If I want to add another country, let's say Nigeria, you can add, right? But I'm only interested in one country, so we can just close this. The next is to enter your project aims. You can type them yourself. You can also ask AI to test aims for you. When you click on this button, you get a list of aims generated by AI. What you need to do is to read through the aims and pick those that align to your survey, right? Aims that align to your survey, you will pick from what AI is suggesting for you. If you don't like any of them, you can just type yours. You can see here it says determine the current state of Ebola outbreak among people aged 12 and older in DRC. I can pick that, right? And then when you are done selecting, all you do is you click this button, add selected aims, right? If you want to add others manually, you can simply type here and it will add that aim for you. Next is keywords. You need to also provide keywords for your project. As well, you can type or generate with AI. You can see this is the suggestion, viral infection, hemorrhagic fever, public health. These are keywords that are relevant, right? But if you have yours, you can type them. All I need to do is to click this to add my keywords. Next is this section here. Now, this section here determines if you require ethical clearance, right? So you will need to read through this and see, does your survey include any type of data listed here? any deception or coercion, right? Sensitive topics, any identifiable or potentially identifiable or sensitive data, right? Audio or video recording. And then for the population, are you working with sex workers, prisoners, pregnant women or children, and then benefits and risks. So when you click on any of this, right, and then you create your survey, the survey has been created, but you can see this banner here that tells you your survey may require ethical approval, right? That was because I selected those information. And if you wish to apply, you can apply for ethical approval from the platform directly. All you need to do is click here, and then a form appears. You just complete this form and then submit, right? And you'll get your ethical clearance for the research you want to do. But we'll skip this. We'll just close it. So here, we've created the project. What we need to do next is to add questions. There are 6 ways to add questions to your survey. One is to create the questions manually, right? You create them one after the other. Another way is to copy from existing survey. Say you have a previous survey that have questions you're interested in. You can copy questions from that survey, right? And then edit them. You can also import from survey bank. We have bank that has survey questionnaires or questions that you can click and then pick questions from there. The next method is to import from Word documents. You can have a Word document and then with your questionnaire already on it, right? All you need to do is import that document and then the platform will try to tell the kind of question on the questionnaire. It creates it for you. All you need to do is to make edit when necessary. The same with Excel. You can create question by importing your Excel document that has questions on them, right? You just click on this and then you get this box. You click and then takes you to, so if I have any question here in a Excel format, I will just click on the document and then I can quickly import it, right? Then the last method is to build with AI. Here you are using AI. The AI uses the keywords you supplied, right? If these are not enough, you can type more keywords and then you pick the number of questions you want, right? Once you pick the number of questions you want, you can click on generate and then you wait for a while. AI will generate these questions for you. All you need to do is to check if they make sense, right? You see the options. If you want all of them, you can select this to import the questions. If you don't want all of them, probably you want just a few, maybe one or two, you can select those questions and quickly import them to your questionnaire. So let's start with, we might not be doing all of this, but let's see how we can create questions manually on the platform. So click on create a question. When you click on this, you will see that there are a list of categories. These are not just one question type. You have them categorized. Single response questions where you can create MCQ, that's multiple choice question, or a simple yes and no question, right? This is single response. And then for multiple response, you have the multiple response question where a user is allowed to select 2 or more options, right? Those questions usually come with an instruction that says, please select all that apply, right? So you can create this kind of question and then drop down questions. This drop down question is important when you want a user to pick from a very long list, say countries of the world, right? You don't want them displayed on the entire page that the user keeps scrolling. So this drop down allow the questions to appear in a drop down form, and then the user can search to pick their options. And then for scaled questions, you can create linked scale or sliding scale, sliding, you can adjust the scale 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 1 to 50, anything you want. And then Likert scale, like we know, strongly agreed, disagree, that kind of scale. And then you have grid question. This is matrix, where you have a list of questions that have been asked, and then the participant picks an option for each of those questions you're asking, right? And then open-ended. Open-ended, you can create single value response. Now, this single value response is when you want, and we call them open-ended because the user is supplying the information, right? This kind of question, you can ask a question like, what is your name? And the user can just type their name, or please enter your email, enter your phone number. You can use this kind of questions for it. Then you have a multi-line text question. This is when you want a user to describe in their opinion, a question you are asking. Just a user supplying his opinion in a detailed manner. You use the multi-line text question. You use a multimedia question when you want the user to upload either an audio, a video, an image, or a document. They are all multimedia, right? So you use that kind of questions for that. And then for date and time, maybe you are scheduling a meeting and then you want a user to provide a specific time or date suitable for them. You use the date time question. And then we have ranking questions, where the user rank options based on how they want them, or depending on the question you ask, how they will rank options. You use these ranking questions or the discrete choice experiment. And then item matching, where a user matches maybe a text or an image to the corresponding text, right? Maybe you want to ask a question around different topics, or you are saying, what is AI? And then what is computing, or what is public health? Like, you have those as questions, and then the user is matching their definition. All you can say is public health, AI, and then the user picks the definition and matches it to that item. Or an image, you can have images of different applications. Maybe you want to know if the user knows analysis platform. So you have an image of R and SPSS and Stata, and then the user matches the image to the name, right? You use this kind of question. Then for group allocation, you can randomize question to participants. Now, this is a very interesting question type where you can include randomization in your survey design. Here, maybe you have two scenarios or two images that you want to randomize among participants, so you would know which of that image or which of the opinion rings, or aligns with your participants more. So when you randomize, you get to know which of them is more preferable for your participants. And then for multiple variance question, this is A/B test. So you basically have two branches of question, whereby these ones you assign them. You can use a previous question to assign participants this kind of question. Okay, so we have an MCQ questions that says, have you heard of Ebola disease? And then maybe the options are yes and no, right? So, and then you have two other questions that said, you've heard of Ebola disease. Where did you hear it from, right? And then the other option, or the other option says, you've not heard of Ebola disease. What sources of information do you use? So for a user that answers yes, you will randomize a different question of the A/B to that user. And then for the person that says no, you also give a different question, right? Because you want your survey to be interactive. so that you don't ask users to skip questions they don't like, right? Just ensure that you assign the appropriate questions to your users. And then you can type a question. Here, you can use a question from a previous, you can use a previous question and import it into this current question. You can import the option of that question, right? And ask a user a question based on the option he picked from the previous question. If we have time, we can demonstrate all of this. And then lastly, you have prompts or scripts. These are not questions per se, but you use them to tell users what to do, right? You have different type of prompts. As you can see, you can have a header prompt here. You can have a closing prompt, an incentive. When you're adding an incentive, you will need to add an incentive so that users will know what to do to claim their incentives, right? Then you have quota, exit, and quota prompt. Now, let's just see how we can create some questions manually. Let's use the yes and no, right? So here, when you say, do you live in DRC, right? So the options are populated for you already. You don't need to type them because that's the question type. It's yes and no question. So you have the options here. All you need to do is you check if you need to change the label, right? Or you can change it to live to show where the persons live. If you want to make it required, you will use this button. Once you click it, you get this asterisk that tells the user that this question is required, and they cannot move to the next question without answering this question, right? So this is how you make a question required. Once you are done, all you do is click on questionnaire, and then your question is being put to your questionnaire. Now we have one question here, right? If you want to add another question, say you want to add a multiple response question. Here, you can see what sources of information do you use? Then you can add something like an instruction that says, please select all that apply, right? And now for your options, you can type radio, television, social media, right? Or friends and family, right? And now to ensure that your options are exhaustive, you can add this special order here, right? When you click on this, what happens is the user can specify an option that is not here, right? So if I come to the preview here and click on this, you'll see that a box appear where the user can type or the participant can type a response here. So you can add something like please specify. So the user knows that he would supply a response when he clicks on that, right? Now, if let's say the user does not use any source of information, right? What you can do is use this exclusive button here, right? And then it brings none of the above. What this means is if a user selects this, he cannot select any other. Once you select options and then you click on this, everything disappears because this is, as the name implies, exclusive, right? You cannot select options here and still select this because this means that you're answering the question wrongly. So to ensure data quality, the user can just click on this, and then every other option here is unchecked, and then this is left for the user to proceed with. So this is how you create multiple response questions, right? Now, say you want to create an open-ended question that asks for a participant phone number, right? You can click this number here, right? And then you can also define the kind of number you want the person to enter, right? So you can see that there are options here. If you want height, humidity, right? Lots of options here that you can pick from. Weight, volume, right? So any of the options that suits what you want to collect, you can just click on it, and then so we want to pick something like height. Let's say we want height, right? You can pick height. You can define decimals if you want them to be entered. You can also set maximum and minimum values. This helps you ensure that there's no poor data or bad data, because say somebody wants to enter 20 and then the person by mistake enters a negative time before 20. You cannot have a height of -20, right? So when you set minimum and maximum value, it ensures that the user does not enter anything above or below that value, right? So here we have 143 to 180 centimeter, right? You can apply this, and then you see that the user can select the units when they enter the option. See, the person is 168, and then meter. Now, to ensure that there's no contradiction, you can specify in the question, enter your height in centimeter, right? So the user knows that, or the participant knows that what he needs to pick here is centimeter, right? And then provide the value. So remember, I had an upper and lower limit. If I want to enter 10 here, you would see that a validation message is being displayed. Value must be at least 143 because this was the lower limit I entered. If I want to enter 200, the system will not accept it. Why? Because my highest value was 180, right? So this helps you, collect good data for your survey. So once I'm done setting up the question, all I need to do is click on the questionnaire, and then I get the question here, right? So now, say I have a questionnaire in a document that I want to import. All you need to do is come to this place, say import from Word document, and then you click, right? And then say this is the questionnaire, and then upload questionnaire. When you upload, you might get flagged on some of the questions. It's the way of the platform telling you that you need to check those questions for editing. You can see that initially we only had 3 questions, these first 3, but now I've imported from my Word documents. Let me even show you how it is, because it is not formatted, just a simple Microsoft Word. Now this is the questionnaire. You can see how it is, right? A plain questionnaire, and then the platform is able to import that questionnaire, right? And then here you can see there's a flag here. Why? Because on the questionnaire, there was no option. So I will need to edit this question to enter the option. So I can click here and say male, female, right? Um, and then click on resolve, mark at resolve. Once I update, you will notice that the flag is gone, right? So this is how you can import question from a Word document. So now we would let me create some few questions, then we try to collect data and then see how we can proceed. I'm deleting this. Yes, I've deleted them. So let's create just 3 questions, right? This will be MCQ, and the question is, what is your sex? And then here we can see gender or sex if you want to. Then you have male, right? And then female. We are set with this question. We'll keep it to questionnaire, right? Now we can add another question that asks about let's say we want a drop down question that says what is your age category, right? Now you can type your age category here, but we have options that are supplied by the system. When you click on this, you see user supply entries. That means you are the one supplying the options here. But when you click on the little arrow here, you'll see that you have other ways of adding options. One of them is system supplied options. This is a very, very important feature because when you click on it, you have special variables here, time zone, month of the year, languages, days of the week, countries of all the world. If you have a question that's asking what country are you from, you don't need to start typing all the countries. All you need to do is click on this, apply, and then it imports all the countries of the world. Same thing with continents. Another very important tab is the social demographic variables. When you click on this, you have things like age categories, educational attainment, marital status, religion, sexual orientation, occupation, right? You have a host of them here. So all you need to do is, the question is about each category. I will just click on this, apply, right? And then I can come here and label this age category, right? And then click on push questionnaire. Now, when you click it, you can see that you have different age categories here, right? Let's add one more question. Let's say it's a drop-down question as well. And see what is your highest educational qualification, right? And then we can label it education here. Same way, we can use our system supplied options here, come to social demographic variables, and then pick educational attainment, right? And then you apply and push to manuscripts. It is this easy. You can see that you have associate degree, college education, doctoral degree, master's degree, no formal school, a host of them. Now, here we are done designing our questionnaire. What you can do is to preview your question and see how participants will see it when they are taking the survey. You can come to the preview button here and click on preview survey. So This is what the participant will see. There's a welcome message, which you can also edit, and then the person can start survey. This is the question about sex. You click next. About each category, you click, and then next about educational qualification, you select from the list, and then you submit, right? It's that simple. Now, what can you do with your questionnaire? Say you have you want to include inclusion criteria. You have a defined population, right? That you want to include to your survey. There's a button here called question routing. Here, there are four things you can do. You can set skip patterns. You can set inclusion criteria. You can set exclusion criteria. You can add quotas, right? Skip pattern is when you have questions that apply to some participants and may not apply to other participants. So you don't manually tell people that, oh, skip this question if it doesn't apply to you. It really does not make the survey interactive. What you do is you from the option, you skip that question that does not apply to a participant that selects the option. So we can demonstrate this another day, but when you click on the interface, you get this. Say you have each category, right? And then when you come here, it is if each category is exactly equal to this, right? Maybe you don't want the person to answer this other question. All you want is the survey to go to the end. That is, the person is done. You don't want him to answer that question if it's between this age range 0 to 17. You don't want them to answer this question. So all you do is click this and then you click submit. It takes the person to the end of the survey. So this question is not necessary. When the person is taking the survey, he doesn't see this question, right? That's how you set skip pattern. Then for inclusion criteria, you would define who your study is meant for, so that people that do not meet your criteria are pushed out of the survey. They don't even get to waste their time to take the survey to provide bad data for you. So say we want to set inclusion criteria where the age category, right, is just maybe we want people containing any of, if you are in this category and this and this, right, we want you to be part of the survey. But if you are not, you shouldn't be part of the survey. Once you submit, right, the platform tells you that it will display this, the screener question for participants to let them know that there's eligibility criteria to answer the questionnaire. You can save and include. Next, there's a prompt for people that do not meet your criteria. This prompt is shown to them. Thank you for your interest in participating, but you are currently ineligible due to the criteria, right? You save, and then know that you can edit this if you want, right? You can edit anything here. This is for people that are eligible. The platform tells them that you are eligible, you can proceed, and then, you save, and then this is when the person has submitted his response. This is being shown. You also, now, if we try to preview the survey again, start. You see, so the platform is now telling you that there's an eligibility criteria that you need to meet to be part of this survey, right? When you click next, you have a question for whether you are male or female. And then next, you have this question. This is the one we used to set the inclusion criteria. And remember the ages the range we picked, this, and this. So the person selects 0 to 17 and then click on the next. Can you see? You are not eligible to participate. So this way, the user knows upfront that, okay, I don't meet the criteria for this survey, right? Instead of sharing a questionnaire and say, if you are not from so region, or if you are not in this age group, please don't take the questionnaire. Nobody listens to that, right? So ensure that you have inclusion criteria in your survey when you design them. So next is exclusion criteria. Same as inclusion, you can set exclusion criteria that define the criteria for people to be excluded from the survey. And then you can set quota. Now, this quota is when you want to have specific number of responses for, say we want, for this question, we want, if gender is exactly female, right? We only want 20. What this means is, when the 20th female takes the survey, another person coming cannot take the survey, right? So when the 21st person comes, the platform tells you that, oh, sorry, we've met our quota for this survey, right? This also helps you define, maybe you have incentive that you want to give, and you want to ensure that, or you just want the study group to be sort of not really uniform, but closely in close number. Maybe you want 30 females, 20 males, just so you don't have 50 females and then 5 males, right? You can define quota, and then it tells exactly how your data would look when it is being collected. Now, what you can do again is, if you are done with it, you can also add consent to your survey. This is one of the very feature that is difficult for you to see in a lot of survey platforms, where the user has to consent on the platform, on the survey, not you writing a note when you share on WhatsApp group and say, please consent to this survey, right? You can add it here. You can click on generate false consent, or you can type your consent here. When you click on this, it generates information for you, right? Depending on your question, this is based on my question. You can see that my title, you can see that the title is here, right? So all I can do is add, maybe I'll just say RC consent, right? And submit. Now, anybody taking the survey will have to agree to this consent. Let's preview again. Start survey. Now you have a consent form, right? You will need to read this, and then you accept or decline, right? And when you accept, the platform captures your metadata to ensure that you don't come back later and say, oh, I didn't consent to the survey. No, the platform records that you've accepted to the survey. This is a very, very important feature that you will need when you're collecting data from participants. Aside consent, if you have minors, because consent is for adults, if you have minors, you can have what is called an assent form, right? For people below 18, when you create an assent form, right? When you submit this, you will see that you have a consent and an assent. You can also have multiple consents and multiple assents, right? And then you can route. There's an option here that you would see, the button that says add consent routing, right? So this allows you to define who you want to assign this to and who you would assign this to, right? Next is, if your survey does not have logic, you can rearrange them if you want. You can click on, you can arrange them here so that when you save the rearrangement, participants see them differently. You can see this is keep all questions fixed. So if this is the default, so every participant sees the questions in this order. First, you see the question for sex, for each category, and then for educational attainment. But if you click on the next option that says shuffle all questions, this happens when you don't have logic. If you click on shuffle all questions, my question one can be another person's last question. Now, this is important in addressing order bias, so that usually when you have a survey and then you have a lot of questions in them, you will notice that people tend to answer first part of the questions, and then the questions at the end of the survey usually don't get a lot of responses because some people leave the survey before getting to those questions. To ensure that it is uniform, questions are uniformly skipped, you apply this shuffle, and then people are assigned questions differently. One participant can have question 1 as their question 10, another one has that same question as their question 15. It is a very important feature also to use on the platform. Now, next thing is when your participants are from different regions and they speak different languages. How do you ensure that you effectively communicate with them? You can translate your survey. There's language and translation here. When you click on it, it allows you to add language, right? When you click on add language, there are 3 ways you can translate. You can do full AI translation, you can do manual translation, and then you can download the question template, translate it, and then upload it back to the platform, right? Let's say we want to try this full AI. All you need to do is select the language. Say I want to translate it to French, right? When I select this and then click on proceed, you can see that the French is added. Just give it some time. You will see that this will show you complete, and then the user can take the survey in this language, right? If you prefer to use the manual form, when you pick a language, say you pick Spanish, right? And then the platform will load the questions for you and options on one side, and then where you will enter the translation. So this is your source language, which is English, and then this is your target language. So here, what you can do is, I don't know what you will use. If you want an expert to do it for you, the expert can come and just type the translation for this here, right? We have an AI here that can assist you, but you should just check with experts to ensure that what is here is being translated accurately. Once you click on this, right, you'd see that it is translated for you. The same thing here, the same thing here. Can you see? Now, as you translate, you see that the bar here is progressing, telling you what is left for you to finish translation, right? If you like, you can filter based on what you've done, untranslated and translated. If I click on untranslated, right, I would see that I still have one that is not translated. So I can quickly translate this, and then my survey translation is complete. When I save this, you can see the one I added automatically, this auto has completed as well. So if we go to preview this survey, from here you can switch language. So the participant can either French or Spanish. When you click on French, everything is being translated back to French, right? When you click on Spanish, the same thing. So the user takes the survey in that language. Uh, we will not be able to go through everything, but let me remove the inclusion criteria for those that might not really that have not been following. Now we have this question that we want to launch. If you want to launch a survey, you can come to this place to edit your survey. Like we said, I can leave it as a cross-sectional survey. I can convert it to longitudinal, whereby I have start date, end date, and then my follow-up. How many follow-up do I want? And then what is the duration? How many days? How many months? How many years? Right? And then the platform automatically calculates for you. When you set this up, you don't need to even come back and edit. The platform sends the survey automatically to your participants when it's time for them to take the next wave of the survey. But let's leave it at cross-sectional. You can also convert to pilot survey. If you want to do pilot before your main survey, you can pick pilot, right? And there are a lot of other settings you can do here. You can have password for your survey. You can block IP address so that people from other places or with particular IP address cannot access your survey, right? So we will not be doing that. All we need to do is click on the launch button, and then sorry, I've not picked my start and end date. So I'll come here, and then of course today is 17. You can see it's here already. End date, maybe I want it to end next week, Tuesday. I can pick 23, right? And then save. Once I do that and then click on launch, the required information have been provided. You can see that you require this is required, and this is required. So this survey meets the criteria for launch. I will just click on launch now. And then the survey is being launched, right? So if I want to take this survey, or I want to share the link with participants, I can click here, share survey. Now, if you prefer to use the QR code, you can download this and share with participants. You can also upload emails. If you have emails of participants you want to invite, you can upload the emails. If you want to share on social media, you can share on different social media here using this button. But I want to copy this and then share with participants. So you can try in the survey. So you just see how it looks. Try to complete the survey now. I've shared the link in the chat. Just try to complete. We have 3 questions in the survey. So if I want to take it in another tab, when I do this, you see, you can select whether you are an adult or minor, and then this language is here, Spanish, right? Male, is age category, and education, right? And then that's it, submitted. So as participants submit responses, the platform records or track the responses for you. Whenever you come to the platform and then click on manage collected data, you will see that so far I have 8 responses, right? This is the total number of language, right? And you can see, let me refresh again. Maybe we have a couple of responses that have been added. We have 15. Can you see that? So this is how you create survey on the platform, share the link with participants, and then they complete the survey for you. If you want to download your data set, you can come to the action button here, right? And then you can see download data set. You can either download the raw data set or the clean data set. And you can pick to add any of these options, right? But once you are done, you click proceed. When you click, this is the data set here. When you open it, you can see metadata, and then this tells you if the participant has completed or the survey is incomplete. You can see the status here. We have males, females, age category, and education, right? This is your raw data. If you download the clean data, all your data set will be structured in the same column for each of the variables, right? So now we have some data here, right? If you also want to download reports, for each survey you create, the platform writes the methodology report for you. Now, when you download that methodology report, it tells you that, okay, this survey is, let's open it. Can you see? This is our title. It gives the background, our motivation, the study design. Remember, it was cross-sectional, study participants, responses, survey administration. So you get this robust study reports written for you. You can also have other reports, such as your code book, your analysis reports, right? We cannot go through all of this. So let's say we want to close the survey now. All you do is click that button and then you close the survey. Now, anybody trying to take the survey would get a notification that the survey has closed, right? So now we have 23 responses. Like we said earlier, this is an ecosystem, right? You can do everything on the platform. So from there, you can see this button that says Analyze Results. When you click on this button, right, it takes you to the analysis engine of the platform. You see, this is our data. You can see the metadata here. We have 10 columns. We have 23 participants, remember? And then these are your variables. That's our metadata, right? Now, what you can do here is you can do data processing where you maybe rename your variable, or you clone a variable, or you transform, you visualize, right? Let's say we want to visualize this variable, education. You can see this button here that says visual. Once you click on it, right, this is a visual representation of your data. It tells you your participants. You can see, you can switch this to chart if you want, and then you have the different slides for each of the category here. Now, if all you need to do is descriptive analysis, you can simply come here and say you want the descriptive statistics report, and then the platform generates it for you. You can see metadata, right? When you click view more, you would see for gender, you have 7 females and 12 males. This is the chart for it. You can download this if you want, right? And then just go. If all you want is just the descriptive, right? You have them here and the chart. But say you want to estimate, you can do mean estimate, prevalence estimate, regression analysis. You can do different type of statistical tests. You see, you can do sample t-test, ANOVA, t-test, testing, right? Now, this is a very, very important button, especially if you are new to research and you don't know how to do analysis. When you come here, this is the analysis wizard. You see, the first option here is analysis suggester, right? You have variables, but you don't know what to do. You don't know the kind of analysis to do. You just know that, okay, these are my outcome variable. I have a primary outcome variable and secondary other variables. Once you click on this, all you need to do is to supply your primary outcome, that single important thing you want to measure. And then you can also provide other secondary outcome. And then when you click on this, the platform suggests analysis for you and then run it for you. So if you are new to analysis, this is a very, very important feature for you. You can also do statistical test checker. When you enter your variables and click on run, it tells you the kind of statistical test you should do. Also for regression analysis checker, right? And then for this research idea suggester will use your data and provide research questions that you can use with that same data, right? But remember, I only have 3 questions, and these are the questions. Maybe I want to just do a simple population characteristics, right? Now, remember, like I said, you can see the summary of your data here, right? You can do a lot of things. You can recode, but we might not be doing all of that. You can recode variables. Let's just do something simple. We want to do population characteristics, right? Here you have where you select the variables you want to use. If I click on this and then I want to add more, I can select age category and gender. When I'm done, I can click on done selecting. And then here you will define the type of variable. This education is, we can say this is an ordered category, right? We can say this also is an ordered category because for each category you have from 0 to 17, 18 to this number in that order. For gender, we can say this is unordered because female or male, any of them can come first. So once you do this and click on estimate, right? The platform, this is all you need to do, and you have your result. Can you see? You have your frequency here, and then the percentages here. So for education, it says college education, you have 6 people, and this constitutes 33.3% of your entire population. Now your analysis is all you need to do. You have your results. This is the table. This is a plot, right? Can you see? This is a text of your method and result written for you. And then, of course, metadata. Now, from here, what you can do is you can come here and say, I want to push this to manuscript. So you can click on this, and then your result is being pushed to manuscript for you automatically. You don't need to download and then go to MS Word and start to, no, you can push from here. But also we see how the collaborate is. We will not use this. Let's come to the collaborate itself so that you see the different options you have. Now, this is where you can generate documents. When you click on collaborate, you click on start writing. You have 3 categories. Either you want to create a manuscript, right? Or just a general document, documentation, or you want to upload. Now, if you want to upload, you have options to also upload an academic writing. Maybe you are working on a manuscript and then you want to import it to the platform. You can use this to bring that document into the platform. Or if you want to upload a document, an MS Word you are working with, you can also use it to bring it up. But because what we have is a manuscript, we want to create a manuscript. When you click on start writing, you get this interface where you provide the title of your manuscript, right? So let's say this is just to test Ebola outbreak among people aged 12 years and older. Now, once you provide the title, the next thing you should do is provide aims. You can also type them here, or you can generate with AI if you so wish. Here will carry your title and generate relevant aims that align with your title, right? So you wait a bit and then you get an output. Um, Now we have aims here to examine the prevalence of Ebola outbreak among individuals aged 12 years, and I can pick this, right? I can pick this. Once you are done, you just click on add selected and then start writing. So here you have the usual IMRAD template created for you, where you have abstract, introduction, method, result, discussion, limitations, references. Now, I want you to look at where my cursor is. You will see a very, very important button here that says switch to analysis. Again, this is an ecosystem where you can, all the modules talk to themselves. So from here, I can switch to analysis, right? And then look for my analysis. Okay, let's go to, now this is my analysis here, right? Now, do I need to repeat the analysis I did? No. When I come to analysis history here and click on it, I will have history of the analysis I've done. When I click here, I can view the analysis. This is the analysis I did, right? So what I can do from here is say, okay, let me push this to manuscript. What manuscript? This one I just created. I want to push to this manuscript, and then I click push, right? Can you see all content pushed successfully to documents, right? So I can close this here and then go back and say I want to switch to the manuscript. When I click on switch to manuscript, I will pick the manuscript I want to switch to, and then the result is being loaded now. You just give it a little time and you would see your results here. Now, on Collaborate, there are key features that you don't see on any word editor, right? Because this is a collaborative platform. If you are working with different people on a manuscript, you can add comments for them, right? You can write comments, and then when the collaborator comes, you will see, you can also tag the person, and then you will see that comment there that you left for him, right? You can also cite directly from the platform. Now, this is our results. So when you are done with your analysis, you see our table here and our chart. When you are sure that you are done with your analysis, you have this cleanup button here. You can see that there are some text here that are shown in, they still contain the name of the variable from the platform. You can see how it appears here. But when you use this cleanup here, right, it's saying what name do you want me to replace this with? So all you need to type here is, let's say, educational attainment, right? And then here we want age category. And then here we want gender. Now, once you click this submit here, the platform cleans the variable name for you. And then you would have those old ones replaced with the new names you provided, right? It's loading back after the cleanup. So okay. So now that the variable, Michael, sorry, can you mute? Do you mute the people speaking? Can you mute, please? Thank you. Now you can see that those names have been cleaned. Now you have educational attainment, age category, and gender well written for you, right? And this is your table here. You see, you can edit if you want. You can say you want to make this bold. You can do that, right? And then maybe you want to increase the size. Maybe you want to increase it to 18 to stand out. For this total, you want to do the same. Maybe you want to make this bold. You can do that. You can also, if you want it at the bottom, you can just place your cursor here and drag it down to the bottom. Now your total appears here, right? And then for each category, say you want to change this to now attainment, right? You can have this. If you like, you can delete this other one since they fall under the same variable. You can delete this, and then each category you can do the same. And then also delete these other ones here. And then gender, you can also rename this to gender and delete this. Now you have a nicely formatted table for you. You have your limitation here, your results. Next is to write your introduction, your methods, and other sections of the manuscript. Now, if you want to write on the Squares platform, there are two ways of writing, right? You can use the manual method or you can use AI. But if you want to generate with AI, ensure that you read and edit the work. Because if you're using AI, you are taking responsibility for it, right? AI is not the person doing the research, you are the person doing the research. But to go the manual way, it's easier for people to pick and fill forms. So we separate the introduction into three aspects: why important, what's known, and then the gap, right? So why is it important? Is it health and mortality, right? So you can check the box, right? Then enter just something here, a brief description. And then if you want economic impact, you can also check. That's how you can provide some context, and then AI will help you generate a robust information based on what you've supplied. Now, if you are done with your writing and you want to cite, there's this button here that is called citation. Once you click on it, right, you can cite articles from PubMed. So all you need to do is type maybe Ebola outbreak in Democratic Republic of Congo. And so once you do that, you can see that citations are, manuscripts are being brought out for you. If you have discussion, you can click on that portion anywhere you want to cite. You will just place your cursor there. I want to cite this result. Just for demo sake, I will just click my mouse here and then cite. And a citation will be added for you. Can you see? You have one here. You can change the type of citation, the reference style here. Maybe you want APA instead. You can choose it here and save, right? You have it in APA form, right? When I want to cite another one, come here, click on cite. You would see the citation is being added, and then you have the reference here populated for you, right? It is 15 words. So once you are done citing, you can now once your manuscript is ready, there are two things you can do. You can download or share, right? If you want to download as a document, you click here. For PDF, you click here. If you want to share the link, the link will be generated for you here, and then the person can access your manuscript. If you want to now publish, you can click on this button here. So Chi-Square does preprint, right? You can publish your manuscript while it is being reviewed in another journal. We can publish it for you as preprint. So if you want to do that, you select submit to Chi-Square preprint, select the field of research, let's say medicine, subfield, let's say epidemiology, and then you enter keywords, and then you accept this, then you click publish. If you prefer to send it to a peer-reviewed journal, we've partnered with a couple of them here that you can select and also submit your manuscript to. If none of these journal meet your preference, like you don't want to submit to any of these, you can come to the action button here, journal suggester, and then the platforms suggest a journal for you, right? You see a list of journals here that you can copy. You can use open access PubMed journals, and then you can copy the list or you can click on forward to email, right? And then you get this list that you can submit your manuscript to. There are a lot of things I can go ahead to show you, like the style here. Here you want to write a report and you want to add header, like a header that you want to write sort of a descriptive information about your work. You can use this to write that header. You can also expand your text. You can contract them. You can translate. You can paraphrase, right? You can also see the version of your document if you're working with others, and then you want to return to the previous version. This one here gives you the version. This is just the first version. If this is been worked on and then you have other versions, they are displayed here for you. So you can choose the version you want to proceed with, right? You can also check your manuscript for AI use, right? Because of course it is your discretion to use AI, but we allow you check for AI. So if I use AI anywhere, it will be tracked here for me, right? And then you have the AI uses statement here that tells you, or the person you are submitting the manuscript to, that okay, I use AI to do this and this and this, right? But because there's no AI used anywhere, you can see that it's indicating that no AI not used. Yes, this is how you can create a survey. From that survey, analyze, get the result, and then push that result to a document where you can write a manuscript or report. So I will stop here for questions. Okay.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation.
Hello, is here.
Michael, I can hardly hear you. Yes.
Earlier. Thank you. Many thanks to you for this insight presentation. I'm Dr. Regan from DRC. Chi-Square teams from Central Africa. Okay, so excuse me for the delays because we have a confusion of time confusion. For us, it was the session will be held in 4 p.m. And so
Oh,
I'm sorry for this late. Okay, just I want to thank you for the presentation, this insight presentation, and so I want to encourage all members to be one of the partners of Chi-Square software, a Chi-Square platform, and so to be in time to no, so good. In time to sign in our platform WhatsApp and email platform for the Chi-Square. I'm so happy to be among you. Thank you, Elia.
thank you very much, Regan. Yes,
I
I
was the
recognize you
moderator. Mhm.
yesterday. Yes, yes. Thank you for the awesome job yesterday. Yes. So keep following us on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. We have a couple of trainings we do every now and then. You can keep tabs with us through our social media platforms. And for any inquiry, you can email us at info@kaisquest.com. We'll respond to your inquiries. Thank you, Regan.
Can I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for a wonderful presentation. My question, I just want to clear differences between consent form and the assent form. For instance, I may have a different subject or participant or respondent. You have made mention about it, but I didn't capture it well. Then also a very distinction between cross-sectional survey and longitudinal survey. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Can I answer you the Mr. Hamza? You know, in research method, we have a free document for individual to be participate in a study. We have a consent form for all people behind of age is uh what can I say? Age is upper than 18, and the accents are used for every people below 18. And we have a free document. First of all, we have a consent for adults, consent for every people below 18, and we have also parents authorizations. But when you have a consent, you must match it with the parents authorization, because everybody below 18 does need signing with a consent. I think that's
Regan, thank you very much. That's
okay.
exactly the response. Yes. So for consent form is for adults, people 18 years and above, right? Assent is for minors, people below 18 years. So the name is separate, but the action is the same. They are giving consent to the survey, right? So, but for assent, you do it for minor, and then you also seek um, for their parents' consent as well, right? So that's the difference between consent and assent. Then for cross-sectional and longitudinal survey, for cross-sectional survey, it is a one-time survey, right? You are taking the survey. It could be that that single survey can run in months or years, but data collection is one time, right? But for longitudinal survey, you can say, okay, I want to monitor I want to monitor the level of glucose in total number of participants in the next 5 years, but I want to do it every year, right? So it's the same with questionnaire. You can create a questionnaire that you want to administer one this year. You administer the same questionnaire to the same participant next year. You administer the same questionnaire to those same participants in 2 years' time, right? So you have different data points that you can compare. You can have data for 2025, 2026, 2027, and you can compare that data set. You can do trend analysis to see the difference based on the data participants supply for you. That's how you can differentiate between cross-sectional and a longitudinal survey. Thank you.
Thank you, Ilya, for that. I want to notify us that attendance link has been dropped in the chat box. So please ensure to fill the attendance. You can select the language which you want to use to fill, whether English or French. Ensure you complete it and fill in your name as you would like it on the certificate and your email address already filled, please. Thank you very much. Ilya, we have some questions in the chat while you were presenting.
Okay.
I would like to take some of them. Generally, some people have been asking if the platform is free, and I've been sharing, but I want to clarify on that.
Okay. Thank you. So yes, we have a free plan, and then we have paid plan, right? We have free users that use the platform, but the number of features you can access with a free plan is not the same when you are a paid subscriber, right? So there are limits to things you can do, but yes, you can create an account, and then you have access to the platform under the free plan, and then for the paid plan, it starts from as little as $25 for an individual. For I think it ranges to $99 per month. And then we also have organizational plan. If you have an organization that you want to subscribe for, you can contact us, and then we'll create a custom plan for your organization. Depending on the size of the people in your organization, we can create that plan for you. But you can also share the pricing page so they can go there and explore the different options that are available for users or potential users. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. There's another question. Someone asked if in my questionnaire, that's Boaz Aliu Ahulu rather. He said if my questionnaire respondents are to identify a picture, does the app accept insertion of picture in my questionnaire? So that's the
Yes,
question.
it does. Yes, you can add images to questionnaire for participants to view and respond to questions.
Okay. Thank you. Then there's another question that can the platform do systematic review and meta-analysis?
Okay, no. The CASPERS platform for now focuses on data collection and then analysis of quantitative data, right? You can have some descriptive summary of your qualitative data, but for meta-analysis and systematic review, that is something in the pipeline. Hopefully, when we are able to complete that, you will see it. But for now, we cannot do systematic analysis or meta-analysis, systematic review or meta-analysis. But it's something we are hoping to develop in the nearest future. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Please, I would like to notify us once again that the attendance link is in the chat. I'm dropping it again. Please don't drop your email address just ensure that you fill the attendance link. That's how we will know that you attended this session and you'll be issued your certificate. So please click the attendance link, select the language you wish to respond, and complete the survey. Most importantly, don't forget to supply your name as you would love it to appear on your certificate, and also your email address that is possible. Thank you, everyone. All right. Is there any other question? If you have any other
Hello, yes.
question,
I sent a question. I wanted to ask, does this platform provide in-depth plagiarism check and AI detector that cannot be flagged by Turnitin?
Okay, thank you. Like I shared, there's this button here that says AI activity tracker, right? When you click on it, when you are done with your manuscript and then you click on it, it will flag where AI has been used, right? And of course, if there's any portion of the manuscript that you use AI, if you take it to Turnitin, it should flag it as well, right? But inherently, there's nothing wrong with using AI. That's why some journals will tell you to declare your AI usage, right? If you use AI in a manuscript, tell exactly what you used it for, right? So we have this AI usage statement for you that you can edit just in case you use AI. If you don't, of course, you have the default statement there. But if you use AI, the system will flag it for you and everything will flag it as well, right? But use or no use of AI is subjective. We cannot say, oh no, don't use AI or use AI. In fact, if you don't want to use AI, anything here, you can come to actions and then settings, and then you'll see AI controls here. Here you can disable AI in every part of this manuscript so that you know that you are not even involving AI in the first place. So you can switch off everything here and then develop your manuscript manually. I hope that is clear enough.
Yes. What of plagiarism? Because it didn't say anything about that. Is there any provision here that you can check for that?
Okay, here is review prepare review that helps review your documents, right? And tells you overall how your document looks like, right? Like, well, for plagiarism, it does not give you like a definitive plagiarism result that, oh, you plagiarized this manuscript or this other person, right? So no, but you get your manuscript previewed and also the AI tracker, but you don't get a report per se, plagiarism report.
Okay, and that's I want to ask, the submission of the publishing of the manuscript to some of the listed options of the publishers, is it that when it's sent, you are bound to receive replies from those people
Yes.
through this
So
platform?
once you pick a journal from here, that's where your journey ends with us. Any communication is now between you and that journal, right? So you have correspondence from them through your email that you used for the account. So that communication does not happen here. It happens in your email and you with the journal, not with Squares again, except if you are doing preprint, right? We'll still communicate with you through the email, but then that is now tied to us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Exactly. Thank you.
Another question, please. For somebody that is under a university system, for the subscription, is the university paying for their lecturers, or you are subscribing as an individual to make use of this platform?
Yes, universities can do institutional subscription, whereby they can subscribe for the entire institution and provide access to their members, right? In fact, this is what we advocate, that institutions can seek for funds, maybe from government, and then have an institutional subscription so that individuals don't get to pay from their pocket. When the institution subscribe for you, you have access to the platform, but it is being paid for you, right? We believe that's the best way to empower people to do quality research, right? But in the case that your institution has not subscribed and you want to do individual subscription, you can go ahead and do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other person, you can signify by raising your hand and I will call you. Any other person? Okay.
Sorry,
Right.
can I still ask a question? This platform, can it be used for research that is not health related, like people in the social science or business sector?
Yes, it can be used for any kind of research. As long as it
Okay,
involves data collection and analysis, you can use it for any kind of research.
okay.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for the great presentation. And I would like to make a follow-up on the previous speaker. I'm also in management and social sciences. And although in my previous life I was in the nursing profession, but now I'm in management sciences. So I would like to find out, as far as publications are concerned, do we also have um, publication houses that are in management sciences, so it's only in the medical fraternity?
Yes, yes. In the management sense, right, once you develop your manuscript, you can come to um, this journal suggester. Remember that when you click at first, this is not there, right? So what the platform does is it carries your title and your work and then searches for journals that are best fit for your manuscript. Do you understand? It's not that they are already on the platform. The platform searches for them, those journals that are best fit for your manuscripts, and then um you can copy the list here, or you ask that it's forwarded to your email, and then you check their author guideline and then see which you want to submit to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That helps. A follow-up and last question. Um, After how long of, say, I've just uploaded my manuscript onto the particular journal, after how long can I expect it to be published or visible?
Oh, so like I said earlier, once you submit to a journal, we are not part of what happens between you and the journal and your manuscript, right? So the correspondence is now between you and the journal. We don't know their timeline, right? How long it takes for them to publish. We only suggest journals for you. When you submit, the discussion now is between you and the journal. In fact, when you check their author guideline, you might see information about their timeline, right? How long it takes for them to publish your work after accepting it. So that is not on us. We don't have that information. You will need to check with the journal you are submitting to.
Thanks, that helps.
Thank you.
All right. There's another question in the chat. The participant is asking, is there an app for this platform that can be used to collect feed data in places where the respondents or community have limited technology or use knowledge? use or knowledge rather?
Sorry, I did not get the question very well. Is it about internet or
Yeah, let me repeat it. Is there an
okay?
app for this platform that can be used to collect field data in places where the respondents or community have limited technology use or knowledge?
Okay, yes. On the GuideQuest platform, right? It also supports offline data collection. Let me go back to my survey. Um, so when I come to offline data collection, right? Here, say you are collecting data, but you want agents to do that for you. You don't want to do it yourself. You have agents in those locations, maybe very low resource location. You can add those agents, right? When you add them, they receive a mail, and with that mail, they can set up a data collection module. They will just import your questionnaire to their phone or tablet or any device, and then help you collect data from that community, right? They can ask participants or respondents, and then they enter the data for you, even if there's no internet. So when the person comes to a place where there's internet, he will just click a button that says push to cloud, or you will just merge the data and then you will see them here. Let's try something. So this is still okay. This is the offline data collection. This is how it is. So you will need to set up. So when you add data collectors or agents, they will just set this up. When they set it up, they can use it to collect data for you in low resource location. And then when they are done collecting the data, when they get to where there's internet, they can push data to synchronize with what you have here online. And your survey will even show you the data collected. Like here, you would see that these are web responses, right? So when you download the pod, you will see the separate data that has been collected for you. So yes, you can use the Express platform to collect data in low resource areas for any field work you're doing.
We have some hand raised. I will start with the first.
Okay. So
Iganga
Michael,
Kunyaya, can you unmute?
we have just 3
Yes.
minutes.
Okay, good afternoon, and thank you for a very wonderful presentation. This app is really a very nice one. My question is, how can we import an already collected data into the app and then use it for analysis?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
You can import every kind of data from every in any format, right? When you come to start new analysis, you can just provide a title. Let me just type gibberish here and then proceed. When you click this, you will see that there's a button that tells you to upload data set, right? So here you have the data on your computer, whether a CSV, Excel, JSON, or you can import them to the platform and do analysis. You can also import from survey, just like I did for our survey, or from public data set. Now we have a separate website that has public data sets that have been collected and cleaned for you. So you can click here to import any data from that website into the analysis module and do your analysis. I hope that's clear.
Okay, thank you very much. We have another person in hand raised. William,
Very
are
much.
you on mute? Hello, William
Thank
Okori.
yeah, thank you so much, moderator, and thank you so much, presenter. I've been with Chi-Square, I think, since last year, and I've been in the old version. And today, when I was opening the platform, I was actually told to switch to the new version. I wanted to quickly ask, I know you talked about the subscription and all those categories. What can the free version do? What can the paid version do? I think I missed out that. But also in the future considerations, apart from the quantitative data analysis, do we anticipate to include spatial analysis like drawing maps, etc., in this platform? But otherwise, I think it's a good platform, and we'll consider migrating to some better services, access to services within it. Thank you so much, and over.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Williams.
I say, can I? Yeah. Okay. This is in regards with the format of data sets. Sometimes when I try to upload the data sets, you'll find it's in CSV, and then the system would ask me if I upload it in that format. I may lose, or there might be some alterations in as far as my data set or my data is concerned. So sometimes I would convert it to spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, and in some cases it allows me to convert it to XL, XS, or SX, something like that. However, sometimes it does not even allow me to upload it if I try to convert it. So I'm trying to find out, are there any major differences as to whether you upload it as CSV or you don't?
There's no any major difference. I mean, you can upload CSV, Excel file, or other formats. So what I would say is, please, next time you get that kind of error, you can email it to us. Let's investigate, right? Because I'm not sure we've had that experience. So we can investigate your data and see if there are things bad in the data that is preventing the system from picking it up, right? So please, when you have that kind of issue, you can share the data with us, and then maybe a screenshot of the error you are getting, and then we'll investigate and get back to you. Thank you.
Okay, I'll do so, and I hope this is the last question from me. From my current doctoral study, I managed to have my data set converted into an Excel spreadsheet, but then I wanted to generate an article based on my own data set. But when I tried to upload it, it refused to upload. It kept on showing an error message. Should I also communicate that with you, or do you have any idea what could be the problem?
Yes, please communicate with us and also share the data set. We will delegate it to a member that would help see what is going on with your data set. Just communicate with us through our email.
Since we are in different time zones, I don't know what is the best time to communicate with you. I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I think you're in Nigeria or you're in the States.
Yes, don't worry. We respond to emails 24 hours, so
Oh,
we
lovely.
respond as soon as we are able to. So just send it anytime that's convenient
Okay.
for you. Yes, thank you.
Thanks a lot. God bless.
All right.
Michael, I believe we are done.
Thank you. I think we've exhausted the question.
Oh, great.
Okay, there's a hand raised. I think this is the last one we'll take. Adamu Sahidu. Are you able to unmute and speak?
Okay, I'm unmuted already. Yeah, thank
All
you,
right.
Isha. Thank you, everyone here. Thank you for introducing to this wonderful platform. I have a few questions. I'm an academician and epidemiologist as well. So regarding the use of these chi-squares, I don't know if one can get a free subscription and for how long. Please, I want to know more about it. And thank you once again. I'm speechless and I don't know how to thank you guys. Well done, Isha. Bye and over.
Thank you, Adamu. Yes, so like I said, the free plan is free forever, right?
Yes.
You can use it for as long as you want, but there are limitations to the free plan. There are analysis you cannot do. There are other data processing actions that you cannot do. There are advanced service you cannot create because you can only create simple service, right? So you can try your hand with the free plan, but if you want to really see what the platform can do, I will encourage that you subscribe and then try the platform. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So secondly, do you have a Android and PC version of chi-squares app?
Okay, not really. So for now, this is a web-based application. You will not find it in Google Play Store or App Store, right? So all you need is your laptop, internet, and a browser, right? So you just type the link, just like you see it here, and then it will take you to where you will log in if you have an account or sign up if you're a new user. You just need a browser, a laptop, and internet. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much, Ilya, for answering all the questions.
Thank you to everyone.
I think we've come to the end of the session. On the chat, you can join our community to get updates on.
Thank you very much for the wonderful. Please, I ask if you can upload images like pictures.